Tonight, Mary Murphy from our Pix Investigates unit looks at the growing radicalization of young Muslims living right here in the Northeast. Mary.
Thanks, Kaidi. Several of the recent suspects are only in their 20s. And tonight we look at a nearly 20-year history of young Muslim men who lived here before turning to Jihad. When a truck bomb blew a 6-level crater under the Twin Towers in 1993, one of the suspects was a New Jersey college grad, Nadel Ayad, a chemical engineer with a degree from Rutgers. A ripped photo showed the 25-year-old, a U.S. citizen, was sympathetic to the Palestinian struggle against Israel, leaving this message with the Daily News.
The Liberation Army.
16 years later, a 27-year-old pharmacy school grad is seized in Boston.
It is alleged that there were multiple conversations about obtaining automatic weapons and randomly shooting people in a shopping mall.
Tarek Mahana's father, a professor at the college where his son studied.
Anything you want to say in defense of your son?
No, we'll have no comment. No comment.
Mahana's arrest coming little over a month after 24-year-old Najib al-Azazi, shown here stocking up on beauty supplies in Colorado, was accused of conspiracy to bomb targets in New York City. The young suspect, born in Afghanistan, moved to Queens as a youngster.
Recently, what we have had is American-born citizens, naturalized citizens.
Al Quillen spent 6 years in the NYPD's Terrorism Interdiction Unit studying the radicalization of young Muslims.
They could recruit at the mosque, they could recruit at the cafes, and they could recruit at the Muslim Student Associations. They'll be on chat rooms, on fundamentalist chat rooms. The fully radicalized person makes a commitment to commit violent actions.
We have seen the zeal and evidence from New York City court cases over nearly 2 decades, with this Brooklyn resident, Palestinian-born Ghazi Mazer, posing bare-chested in a North Carolina motel room during a trip to buy components for bombs to blow up the city's subways in 1997. These were the pipe bombs, with dozens of nails wrapped around them to maximize injury. The plot thwarted when a roommate alerted Brooklyn cops shortly before the planned attack. Mazer lifted the Koran over his head when he was convicted.
Every criminal does some sort of surveillance.
Massachusetts authorities say Mahana did surveillance on the shopping malls he was targeting, no different from wannabe terrorists like Sadiq Ali, who videotaped his ride through the Lincoln and Holland tunnels in the early 90s, hoping to bomb New York City landmarks. The FBI, working with an informant, had surveillance tape of a bomb-making factory inside a Jamaica Queens warehouse. In the recent Zazi case, agents scoured multiple locations in Queens for materials the suspect might have been storing in the alleged bomb plot. Investigators say Zazi traveled to Pakistan for terror training, but court documents say Mahana was turned away when he tried to join a training camp in Yemen. Mahana allegedly had 2 co-conspirators, but one of them is now cooperating with federal authorities. And apparently their plans to attack the malls had to be abandoned because they could not buy the automatic weapons that they wanted to use.
And they're facing some other very serious charges.
Yeah, they're accused of trying to target 2 top U.S. officials in the executive branch of government who are no longer in office, but they haven't been identified either, and also U.S. soldiers in Iraq.
All right. Mary, thank you.